So we're going to talk about, we're going to try to define customer experience, a bit like yesterday. I think it's always useful to have a definition that we can share. I'll give you a little of background on the industry, because that would be the rationale for that study. I very briefly describe the research project. Who did we talk to? How did we execute the research? But a big part of the presentation is around those best practices. What is it? What does good customer experience management look like? So those practices can be, I guess, useful and applicable across a variety of contexts. And then we will conclude that. But I want to start by asking you, what is a customer experience? Any suggestions? Any ideas? What is it? Okay, I know it's 9 a.m., but maybe take a risk, you know? Nobody wants to take a risk? I mean, we have heard that word a lot. Who has heard the word customer experience before? All right, so you have a definition, potentially, if you have heard about it. No? All right. So I'm going to offer you my own definition. To me, an experience is a customer responses to his or her interactions with an organization. Quite broadly. It's quite a broad definition, obviously. Any interaction or all of the interactions with an organization. There are two aspects that are particularly relevant. Physical interactions and relational interactions. Physical is about interacting with tangibles. Like here, you are interacting with a brochure, with a table, with the audio material. All right, those are tangibles. That's the physical context. But often you also interact with people, staff. That's the relational. The third aspect would be the virtual, digital, but that's outside the scope. It's a very different animal altogether. So those are the two aspects, when you interact with physical aspects and when you interact with relational aspects. That's a very generic definition. Let's try to go a bit deeper than that. There are two perspectives that are not exclusive, they are complementary. We can think of an experience as a journey, as a process, a series of interactions. When you interact with a firm, you are not going to have a single interaction, right? If you are in a hotel, you're going to interact with many different people, many different aspects of the context. With your room, when you go to get breakfast, when you talk to the staff outside, when you talk to customer service, etc., etc. So it's a journey that starts somewhere and finishes somewhere. But it's also an outcome. Each time you interact with an organization, it's going to trigger some kind of feeling, perception, assessment, right? Whether you want it or not, you are going to assess that interaction, whether it's conscious or not, positive, negative, satisfying or not.